Hey, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. Hey, Toronto Riggins in the building. Shout out to D-Rob. Salute, my guy. What up, cuzzo? That chick, yo. Ah, Auntie Canada. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Motivation, your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jermon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So, whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like minded individuals, or simply start your day on the right foot, you've come to the right place. Health Talk, what's good, my guy? Good to see all of y'all smiling emojis in the building this morning. Oh man, last week was definitely a blur. It was a blur. It was a blur. For those of you, I'm pretty sure everybody know by now, but those of you who don't, who just might be just passing through, we laid my pops to rest on Thursday last week, and even though he had had a few challenges, my dad was still walking every day, still working. I mean, still looking the same, pretty much. He had gotten a little hitch in his step, but he was still doing pretty good for the most part. And so his death still felt untimely. We hovering over my mom here, trying to make sure that she's good because she went into hospice last week. She's still at home, but she entered the service of the hospice team, and her chemo treatments, they're no longer effective, and so she has chosen to take quality of life over quantity of life. And so we were trying to hold my mom's up and make sure she was good, and my pops, he passes, and so it gets caught everybody off guard. And so it was a little bit of a blur, and then he was buried very, very quickly, and it just seemed so surreal. But fortunately, during that situation, we had already planned a trip. It was a work trip. And also, for those of you who don't know, my wife is a member of the Ebony Anglers, which is an all-female, black female professional angler team. And they are in the process, they're in camp season because their fishing season is about to begin. And so right now they're doing camps. And we had a camp in Miami this past weekend. And a lot of people wonder what the cure for grief is. And they say, take time to relax. Matter of fact, I'll ask in a few minutes. But a lot of people say taking time to relax and to unplug from the normal, because when a person leaves you, they take all of their knowledge, maybe not all of it, they imparted some to you, but their present, their energy, their unique way of seeing the world, it goes away with them. And you can never get it back. So all you can really do is honor what they taught you, what they shared with you. All you can do is really honor the sacrifices and the contributions that they made to your life by going out and living a better life, taking it one notch above, which is what morning motivation is all about, man. It's taking life one notch above. There's a saying that if you being chased by, a lion, all you got to be is faster than the slowest person, because the slow person is going to, unfortunately, meet their demise. So it's our job not to be the slow person, not to be the weak link. But there's also a thought that I used to have, or I used to tell people when they would have relatives or someone close to them, pass away. Death is easy. Death is the easy part. It's the life. It's life that's hard. In death, I learned a different relationship with death, not through my time in the military because you saw it all the time, but it still hurt. It still felt the same way. But my motorcycle accident, I was here, and then all I knew I was present, and then the next moment I wasn't present. And had I died, I wouldn't have known that I died. It was literally the closing of my eyes, my brain shutting down, whatever it was, and I was no longer here. It was no suffering involved. Even though I was in immense pain, I didn't even feel it. The brain's job is to protect you. And so we had a weekend in Miami. We flew out a day late because of the funeral. So we didn't get that extra day to kind of relax and unwind and prepare before the camp. But when I tell you, things work out the way that they're supposed to work out sometimes, it was good to get away. It was good to unplug. I literally, my phone stayed on airplane mode from the time I got on the plane until I think I went to bed that night. I realized my phone was still on airplane mode. I was still kind of in a daze and still in my feelings and thinking about stuff. But that next morning was the camp. And so today, what I want to do today is I want to tell you guys about the weekend. And there's a lot of points that I want to make in there that's relevant to what we do here at Morning Motivation, what we do here as a family. But before I get deep into it, I want to check in on y'all, man, because y'all have done such a great job. Health Talk, bruh. We came home to a beautiful bouquet of lilies and roses. I mean, just some amazing flowers. The house was just super fragrant when I walked in. It was like, what is that smell? I never know lilies smell so good until I started buying them for my wife because it's one of her favorite flowers. So I'm not sure if you knew that or not, but shout out to you and your wife, man. I really, really, really appreciate that. And so there were just a lot of things that, you guys did so many things for our family, and we are so grateful and so appreciative. We even had one of my friends come by who hadn't come to the house yet, and they left us a nice little housewarming gift. Even in the midst of everything that was going on, people showed up and people showed out. So we're super grateful. So I want to check in with y'all, man. How was y'all weekend? Somebody tell me some good news. What did y'all? Somebody tell me something they did this weekend that was uplifting, that was rejuvenating to them, or something you did for somebody else that made your heart smile. And why y'all doing that? Why y'all putting those chats, putting those things in the comment? I gotta run grab my coffee. And so yeah, if you on your way in the door, I'm a little off my game, but please hit that like button. Let me know that you're here and that you're participating. Feel free to talk in the chat, which is what I'm asking right now. Let me know what you did this weekend that, made you feel a little bit better, that made your heart smile, that helped you relax and unplug from the world for a few minutes, because sharing is caring. And what works for me, everybody didn't have a trip to Miami planned to get away for the weekend. So before I go into mine, I want to know what you guys did. And so let me play some little chill vibes. I'm gonna run and grab my coffee, and I will be. No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna be right back. But let me know. Put it in the chat. What did you do this weekend? right. Toronto Riggin says she spent time with family. Celebrated with family. A major keystone took place celebrating the retirement. Yo, shout out to the retirement community. Now, I don't know if everybody is looking forward to retirement. I'm I'm not looking forward to it in the traditional sense because I just know how to work. I know how to have fun. I like to live a retirement lifestyle. My idea of retirement is doing what I want to do to earn income. You know, being able to have a Monday off, a Tuesday off, a Wednesday off, a Thursday off. Go work Friday morning at a conference somewhere, teaching and educating, and then hopping on the while I'm there, chartering a boat, staying overnight, chartering a boat, going fishing Saturday, hopping back on the plane Sunday morning, coming back home to do it all over again. That's my idea of retirement. But I know so many people, like my mom, my dad, both were retired for a couple of years. And my dad, he wasn't. I think I get it from my dad. Actually, both of them. Neither one of my parents know how to sit down and relax. But shout out to the good peoples out in Toronto Regan's family. Health Talk said he enjoyed time with the family and cooked out yesterday. Man, I'm telling you, bruh. It's something about when you throw some meat on the grill, when you got your family and your friends around. It's like, I don't know. It's primal, but it's also is a reset from the everyday life. So shout out to you, Health Talk. That chick, yo, celebrated retirement, family time, and got a little rest. And you needed it too, because your emojis looked a little tired last week. Your emojis were just like, they wasn't as bubbly as they normally were. So shout out to that chick, yo. D-Rob says went and had some wings after work Friday. Bet. Then had my traditional Fridays. Oh, a traditional. See, I got to join in on a tradition, D-Rob. You know what? I think we're going to do that too. I don't know how we're going to do that, but I want to incorporate that. I love that idea. Traditional Friday cigar. Bet. All right. So let me tell you about my weekend. Some of it is very funny. Some of it is like really heartwarming. And some of it is actually nothing was tragic. It was a good weekend. That Shigio says, believe me. He said he taking a week off and working on things around the house. See, there you go. It's like you just retirement, it's the idea of retirement sounds so good. But if you have worked your whole life, all you need is just a little time to unplug. But how much time do you need? I don't know. I know very few men anyway. I can't speak for the ladies on this one. But men, it is very hard for men to just sit in the house and just watch TV or just wait for the grandkids to come by or, especially if we married because we got to go back to work for real because that honeydew list grow. Oh, you're home now. You build this deck. How about we paint all the rooms? How about, man, look. I'm going back to work. You working me a little too hard. You working me a little too hard. D-Rob said Fridays are just a great day for a cigar. Get to go home, get showered up, get something to eat, grab a cigar, start this lounge. I like it. That's how you relax. Well, for most of you who didn't imagine, relaxing for me is a little treacherous. It's a treacherous proposition. And traditionally it has been a treacherous proposition for me because of my circle. We're going to talk about peer groups probably on Wednesday. But sometimes you're in circles. D-Rob said nothing like a cigar and Isley Brothers on the playlist. D-Rob is an old soul, man. I tell you, bro, your playlist be amazing. But there's nothing like, I done shifted thoughts a little bit on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with the shift. So One Night in Miami, that was a movie that was done a few years ago. And it was about the meeting of Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali, and I'm drawing a blank on it. I see his face. Denzel Washington played him in the movie. Um, his face is so clear in my head, I cannot call his name. Um, Malcolm X. There we go. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Martin Luther King. And there was this legendary meeting that happened in this hotel in Miami. It was before Ali became world champ. It was before Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam. It was before, or was it after? I think it might have been right after the March on Washington. But also before Dr. King started really becoming a really prolific speaker and really changing hearts and minds. And it was like three great people come together, and nobody still doesn't know exactly what was discussed in that room, but it scared a lot of the powers that be. And so I use that title for today's show because Miami was a place where I figured out something that had been puzzling me for a while. And so as I get to that, I'm going to detour a little bit. I'm going to tell you about this camp that we did. Biscayne Bay is a national park, and the Ebony Anglers did this camp there. And when I tell you, it was one of the most beautiful fisheries that I've ever seen. It was about 25 children out there, all local to the Miami County, Dade County area, coming from the Boys and Girls Club. And when I tell you, this was probably one of the, and they've done camps like the last 2-3 years, but this is the second expansion camp, but the first outside of the state of North Carolina. And and I'd never been there. I've been to the Florida Keys. I've been in all different parts of Florida, but never really went there for the fishing. And those kids, they caught a lot of fish. They were super excited. They were super happy. It was a great day. The staff was amazing. And I realized something, that when you're struggling with grief, when you're struggling with uncertainty, one of the best things you can do is to serve others. One of the best things you can do is serve others. Because serving is important, because when you're serving somebody else, when you're sacrificing something of yourself and you're giving to somebody else, it honestly, it does more for you than the other person, even though you don't realize that it does. Because nobody was supposed to be here on this planet by themselves. Man was not designed to be alone. I'm talking about mankind. We were not designed to be alone. And the number one reason people break up, people divorce, people go through stuff is because they get selfish. And the other person starts saying things like, well, I can do bad all by myself. There is a one-sided relationship that's happening. Put a one in the chat if you've ever been in a one-sided relationship. Now, it didn't start that way, of course. But somewhere along the line, either the other person started doing a lot of stuff and trying to guilt you for it in some cases. But for some reason you just couldn't get it. You couldn't give it back. You struggled being what they needed. Put a one in the chat if you felt that way. If you've been in that situation. I'm not going to ask it in the reverse, because many of us are used to being the victim, meaning somebody is not doing for us. Somebody is taking from us. But we've been on both sides of that coin. We got into a relationship with the best of intentions. That your girl put a lot of ones in that one. The best of intentions, and this person they're doing what they've always done, but we just ain't quite feeling it anymore. And it's hard to reciprocate. Then you hit the breakups like, it's not you, it's me. It's not you, It's me. And the person that you say that to, they think you're just trying to deflect because you don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to tell them what they didn't do. Well, in all actuality, it was the truth. I'm not feeling the relationship. It's not what I thought it was. Toronto Riggins came back with the 1-2. Yeah, it's just not. And so I don't know how to break up with you. I don't know how to be what you need me to be. And so the relationship slowly erodes over time, and hopefully you end it before it gets toxic, but sometimes that happens as well. All right, so now put a 1 in the chat if you've been in a relationship and the other person starts flaking out a little bit. They stop being what they have traditionally been. You know, as I talked to my mom, I think it was last week before last, we're talking about unconditional love. You know, unconditional love is it's a great idea, but it only truly exists between parents and children and pets. Because you can bring a pet into your home. They don't have to do anything, but just be cute and get a little excited when you come home. If you're talking about a dog. Cats, good luck. Children, they don't have to do much of anything other than be the child that they are. They didn't ask to be here. You feel a sense of obligation to take care of them. But when it comes to partners, that's a different proposition. It's all conditional. I was attracted to you because of A, B, and C. You were attracted to me because of A, B, and C. I can see a future with you because you do A, B, and C. You make my life easier. You make my journey a little less treacherous. And they get with you for the same reason. You bring something to the table that they need, they value, they appreciate, and they want to keep in their life. And so there's a series of negotiations that have to happen. And when one side stops negotiating, you wave them on out the way. It's all conditional. That Shaquille said, nah. I was like, now we already talked about it on a number of occasions, but you draining me, bruh. I gotta go. Kay said, what up, Kay? Kay said, I would argue that love isn't conditional, but the commitment is conditional. I like how you're thinking right there. Oh, man. I like how you're thinking right there. I think I'm gonna put the car in neutral on that for a second. I'm gonna come back around. Toronto Riggins says, I'm quick to break up with somebody, especially if I would see signs early. Nah, bro, I'm good. This ain't going to work. Oh, that's a hot one too. That's a hot one too. I'm gonna go back to Kay. Kay said, I would argue that, let me see. Let me highlight that one. Kay said, I would argue that love isn't conditional, but the commitment is conditional. So let's talk about this. What exactly is love? What is love? Because when you first meet somebody, do you really love them? And in Toronto Riggins' case, she said she'd break up early when she started seeing them red flags. And so she's not experiencing love just yet. That's more of an infatuation. That's that chemical cocktail that happens in our bodies that attracts us to certain people. And so my definition of love has never been that feeling. Okay, I think love is the commitment. Because you don't truly love people. You commit to them. So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. It's the commitment, the energy that it's going to take, the sacrifice that I'm going to have to go through to be with you is more than I can bear. It's not beneficial for me to make this commitment to somebody who is committed to not committing to me. And like, people get so offended when they meet my wife and we're talking, and I say, you know, I didn't marry my wife because I loved her. I committed to her long before I understood what that love was. And I've grown to love her. I've grown to love her. And today I can say, yes, I do love her. I do love her. D-Rob says, well, let me go back. Toronto says, love is pure action that matches your words. Love is dedication, capacity, and commitment. Facts. I like that. I like that. D-Rob says, I feel like love is a feeling. I can see why. Kay says, love is everything after the initial warm and fuzzies. Love is everything after the initial warm and fuzzies. All right. So D-Rob, love is, it appears to be a feeling more so because that's what is painted. That's how we're taught. You know, that's how we're taught. That's how what we see in all the movies. It's what we feel. It's what you feel when you meet somebody and you can't get them off your mind. You break up with them and your heart is hurting. I mean, you went through the breakup, so I could get why you would feel that way. And most people feel that way for some time. But it's not, honestly, until you get to the space where either you're in a very long-term or a long-term relationship and there's a commitment both ways, and now you have to make a decision every day not to choke this person out, not to chop this person in the throat. You look at them in 1 minute and it's nothing you wouldn't do for them, but then the next minute you want to kick them down the stairs, but you choose not to. But you choose not to because the thought of them not being there, not being able to have this person in your life, the thought is unbearable. I get it. Well. Look what the cat done drug in. What up, B? You know, that's love. My wife used to feel away when I used to say it. But I think she started to come along to my side now because I think she's starting to see it. And I think I made her see it, you know, more along the lines of when I said, you know, if I came home and decided I ain't want to work no more, I just want to put my feet up. Because, you know, y'all know we got a family motto, right? Yeah, we got don't F it up. That's our family motto. And she's like, babe, don't F it up. I said, well, babe, I think I'm overworking. I think I'm over being a provider. I just want to sit on the couch and I want to watch reruns of Grey's Anatomy. I want to watch The Chi. I want to watch The Wire again, you know? BFM. I just want to catch up on all the social talk. And I'm going to just let you go to work. Now, y'all, my wife love me. But how long do you think that commitment going to last? Now, know my wife the way I do. She a trooper. She going to hang in there. Well, we going to have some serious heated arguments. We going to have some come to Bobby moments. Blacklist, yes, that's one of my shows right there. But you know what eventually she's gonna say to me? Baby, I do love you. But this is not what I ordered. This is not what I signed up for. So I'm gonna continue to love you, but I'm gonna just do it from over there. Cause I can do bad all by myself. I can do bad all by myself, baby. You heard me. It hurts my heart to see my man on the couch acting like he in a nursing home. Can't do it. Now, I could be totally wrong. But just how my mind works. Now, could I do it? Oh, no doubt. I could probably hang in there a lot longer because I've never had an expectation of her to work anyway. Although I know she is because she can't help herself. I think she's addicted to the work. It gives her something that's it's something that she needs. So she always gonna find something for her hands to do. But do I require her to go out and do anything? No, not really. Not really. Now I'm not saying that I want you to go let it go tomorrow or anything. I mean, don't F it up, babe. Don't F it up, babe. We got some plans. I'm gonna have to do a hard reset and re-strategize if you were to do that today. But I ain't going nowhere, girl. I got you. I got you. But anyway, so out there serving those kids. Now I'm a volunteer. So basically it was a work trip. I was filming pretty much the entire camp. I was making sure everything, all the good moments were captured, and they have media to use for their next camp, for for potential sponsors to see what they're doing. I already submitted my notice. I think you have. I watched you this weekend. I think you might have submitted your notice already. But I'm going to figure it out. Why? Because I'm committed. Check this now. I'm committed more to being who I am. Meaning, I love myself so much that I set a standard for myself that's up here. And because my standard is up here, and because she's my family, I'm going to do whatever it takes for my family to be okay. Because I engrafted her into this family, and she engrafted me into that family. Her dad has called me more in the past week than I think I've talked to him in the past 7 years. Like on the phone. Just checking in, making sure that he knows that I love him, making sure that I know that he is I'm a part of his family. I've been engrafted into his family. Not by my wife per se, but by her dad. He's doing the check-ins. And so the commitment level for men goes a little bit deeper because it's just our nature to be the protector, to be the provider, to be the one who makes sure that everybody has what they need, or at least the education to get what they need, or the resources to get what they need. Now, I know my wife got me. I know she's committed to me. But seeing it come from her father, bro, that hit different. That hit different. Because I recognize the same, and I think he recognized that in me. He trusts that his daughter's going to be okay with me. He don't have to worry about her any longer, how she's going to maintain, how she's going to make it through this world, because he knows she got a real one. Shout out to me for being a real one. Shout out to me for being a real one. And I promise you, when a man sees his son become a real one, and when a man sees his daughter find a real one, it's a brotherhood thing. And not saying that ladies aren't real ones. So sisterhood, back up off me for a few minutes. Let me get my point off. Not saying that ladies can't be the real ones, but it's different from man to man when we see other real ones. That's how our connections and our networks form, and our respect forms. And so being at this camp this weekend, man, it was great to watch my wife serve. That's right, boo. Shout out to your real one. It was great watching my wife serve, watching her teammates serve, being there with the other husbands. And I realized something this weekend as I'm in this circle of other people. Most are business owners, entrepreneurs, and they were the conversation. When you get around people who are really making moves in life, the conversations are different. The expectations are different. When you send somebody to the store and you say, hey, you said anybody wants something, or you send them to the bar I'm going to the bar and I say, hey, anybody want something? Somebody's like, oh yeah, bring me such and such, bring me such and such, bring me such and such. When you come back, nobody's saying, all right, your order was 1872, your order was 23. It's just like, I got it. When you hop in the car and you go and you have to pay for the parking, you pay for the hotel parking or the parking deck parking, you know, covers. And I mean, splitting of the check never really becomes that much of a question, at least amongst the guys. I can't speak for the ladies. I don't know what backroom deals they made, but with the guys, it's like, hey, bro, you going to the store? Yeah, bring me one of those. And they just bring it. The conversations are richer. Seeing what this person's doing, what that person is doing. And so all weekend, the NFL draft is happening right now. And I know this is a random thing, but I'm talking about the weekend, one night in Miami. And they were talking, this draft season. And one couple, their son just transferred from Duke to Virginia Tech. He was gonna check his draft status, but he decided he wanted one more year of prep before he goes to the draft. Two of his teammates were both drafted, one in the third round, one in the fourth round. And he was a higher draft. He would have been a higher draft pick than both of them. So his prospects for next year are phenomenal, especially if he goes out and has a great season this coming up year. So shout out to him. Also, another couple, they're talking about somebody in their family who got drafted last year. Then another couple, somebody in their family, their son actually, his draft stock for college he had visits with Temple and I mean just D1 schools wanting some talent. And I'm just sitting there in awe because this is not generally my normal conversation around people. When I'm around like the people that I grew up with, you know, family, we're not really talking like that. We're talking about stuff, but not like, it's not $1 million discussions. And we had a bunch of those this weekend as well. So much so that when I came home, actually this morning, and I thought about a few things that was happening, but you know, it didn't really resonate with me. It didn't really resonate with me until, wait, this ain't the one. Which one do I want? Is this the one? Nope, that's not the one I want. I gotta go find it. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip for y'all. I hear it, but I don't hear it. Anywho, I'm apparently not going to be able to play the clip for y'all. So let's see if I can actually put it on the screen. There we go. This is my younger cousin, Jalen Wright. He was drafted in the fourth round out of Tennessee to the Miami Dolphins over the weekend. So shout out to my cousin Jalen Wright. He's also a real one. You know, I hadn't had a chance to talk to his pop to send him the congratulations, but I knew he was a really good player. I knew he was a really good player. I watched him play a couple times in Tennessee, but having these conversations, it made me realize that where certain people, you know, we look at people who have accomplished something in life and we think they had a different path than we had. We think they got some kind of break that we didn't break, that we didn't have break for us. When in reality, it's just they make different choices. They made different choices. They made different choices. And the better choices that you make, the more, as Kay would say, commitment that you have for a group, a person, a cause. You only watch your draft stock go up higher and higher. And so I remember watching this kid play in Little League, and I thought, But a lot of little kids look good in middle league. A lot of kids look good, and because the competition is just not that great. That's why parents are putting their kids in like AAU camps. Because yes, it's easy to be the best person on your team if you're from a small town and you got a little bit of talent. It's easier to get all the attention. But when you make it to college, and I'm not talking about, a D3 school. I'm talking about when you can go to and be the man or the woman in the ACC or the SEC or the Big Ten, and you in the top 5 best players on those teams. The NFL, 1% of the 1%, because only 1% of athletes make it to D1 for college sports. But then to get to that league, 1% of the 1%, you're one of the greatest athletes in the world. One of the greatest athletes in the world. Expectations are super high. And I thought it fitting because we drove past, a block around the block. I could see the stadium, the Miami Dolphins stadium. And I'm just thinking, man, the amount of money, because we were in a downtown district, and I'm going to get to that story in a minute. We're in the downtown district, and we decided, we're going to go out on the town tonight. Actually, my wife decided. Shout out to my wife. Y'all may not have known it, but my wife is a butterfly, and she likes to flap her wings all over places when she go to them. I'm content to sit at the hotel bar, get in the pool or the hot tub. Now, my wife, y'all, is one of those high-level thinkers, and she pulls me out of my zones of comfort from time to time. Now, I don't mind. It's just not, I wouldn't think of doing certain things. Yeah. And so she single-handedly convinced 92% of the team to go. It was only 2 who didn't go. Well, 3. 3 out of 10. So, yeah, 70% she convinced to go out. So it's a spot downtown Miami called the Ball and Chain. It's in Little Havana. Oh, my man never been to Miami. I'm about to show him a good time. And that she did. Almost got in a fight. Almost had to fight twice. Got to fight every night to prove my love. All right. Story time, y'all. Y'all ready for story time? Hold on. Let me wrap up this first point though. Service. The fastest way to get what you want out of life. The fastest way to get into doors that are closed is service. If you want to be a part of a Fortune 1000 company, but your resume ain't strong enough, go the sales route. Become a salesperson. They want you because salespeople provide service. If you want to get into a group, provide service. If you want to make an impact in other people's lives, provide service. Service endears people to you and you to them. This person that's willing to volunteer to be a part of what we have going on, we're going to keep their name. We're going to essentially call them whenever we need something. And who knows, somebody else may need something as well, and we know a person. Service. Service heals grief. Because I'm able to take the energy. Because my dad used to love going with my brother to the Boy Scouts. He used to love going out there serving. Some of the best times in his life came from service. Not when he was being served, but when he was providing service. Which is why he worked at Walmart for so long. He didn't have to work at Walmart. He didn't have to. He enjoyed providing the service to the community. Where was the one place everybody was going to come to at some point in time in the whole city? The only Walmart in town. We didn't have a Target. Everybody was coming to Walmart. And my dad had a chance to be there to provide service to people, get to know people, become friends with people, make connections with people. Service, ladies and gentlemen, that is the cheat code to life. Service. And it also heals some wounds because you find a place to put that energy. Now, Saturday, after providing all this service, D-Rob said I should have found a cigar lounge. Bruh, it was a lot of cigars flowing at the hotel lounge, pool bar. So we were good on that one. But I feel you. But I ain't want my wife smelling all smoky. So after we finished providing this service, what I got, 10 minutes? All right. After we finished providing this service, we go back, we eat. Great restaurant. Great, man, I can't think of the name of it, but they had some great food. Cuban food is pretty good, y'all. If y'all never had Cuban food, I mean, there's nothing that you don't have on a regular basis, like shaved beef, shaved pork, shaved chicken, rice and beans, plantains, which is really good. Some of the coffee is different. My wife ordered me a coffee, and I'm expecting to get one of these. I mean, it came in a cup that big. I said, what? I said, this is a dollhouse coffee cup? What are we doing here? But it was strong, and it was good. So I got some Cuban culture over the weekend, so that was good. But we get back to the hotel. Let me tell you something. Miami will put some pressure on you boys. Miami will put pressure on you. If you're not from Miami, and you go to Miami and you half-stepping, just trying to get through the airport is difficult. Because you see some very high-quality individuals walking around. People that you know either got a little bit of money or they chasing clout super heavy. But it looked like they got a little bit of money. So we leave the Cuban spot. We get back to the hotel. We go chill out by the pool for a few minutes while my wife decides what she wants to do. And so her and a couple of her teammates jump in the hot tub, and it's a couple of Caucasian brothers in the hot tub, and they're having conversation back and forth, and they're talking about fish. And he pulls out his phone, and he shows this big grouper that his 8-year-old son caught, and his son was actually out fishing right at that moment. So it was, I would know. Your boy got to go check in and make sure everything's on the up and up, Damn, if I'm going to Miami and lose my girl in Miami, no, sir. And so then as those guys get out the tub, me and one of the other husbands there, we're talking about what we're going to do next. He was like, you want to get in the pool? I said, want to go get in the hot tub? I said, yeah, let's get in the I said, yeah, give me a minute. So he started getting ready to go. And just then, I look over and I see 3 Cuban fellas, all probably around 27, 28 years old. Got the Rico Suave hair popping. Skin complexions dark like mine, but smooth. Lean individuals. I mean, like washboard ab lean. And my wife in the hot tub, being full butterfly. Bikini popping. Stuff just kind of falling out of that thing. My antenna goes up and I'm looking. What the hell? He say something to her. And the other ladies, they just like, yeah, it's fine. I'm assuming he said, can we get in? And they be like, yeah, get in. I'm just like, the fuck? Boy, I couldn't get my damn shirt off fast enough. They posted up because they didn't even have clothing on to get in the hot tub. They had on some shorts and some jeans and stuff. They gonna dangle their little feet in the water and just sit there like, I said, the devil is a lie. I pulled out these guns, sucked my stomach in. I sucked my stomach in and I proceeded to walk. Hulk smash. And one of them looked up and saw me coming. He said something in Spanish. I don't know what he said, but I heard it. But I couldn't make out what he said. I stepped my foot in that daggone hot tub. I could feel all the energy that they had starting to subside. If they had erections, baby, guess what? They weren't hard no more. And then my buddy came with me. He's probably 6'3", about 300 pounds. All three of them wouldn't have been as much as he was. And so we just had to regulate just a little bit. And they sat there because out of pride, the male ego ain't gonna just scurry off. Especially if you a real one, right? You gonna sit there and be like, bruh, I'ma still take your girl, bruh. He like, no, real one be like, bruh, I mean, your girl here, bruh. I mean, you better come over because I'm a scoop her up, but you don't. I ain't from, you ain't from here. I ain't from here. One night in Vegas, baby, anything could happen. So I'm sitting in the pool, victory at hand. I'm in the hot tub. We stay there for another maybe 20 minutes before we decide it's time to go. Oh, and I didn't tell you. She said, baby, I gotta go to the bathroom. I said, sit right here. I'll go get your towel and your shoes. And I thought to myself as I walked out, I said, am I bodyguarding my wife? Never been me. I'd be like, you better go to the bathroom then. Hop out. But I don't know, it's different with my wife. I don't know. Maybe because I really do care. I really do love her. I don't know. She can go get her own towel. Cause that thing was stinging, y'all. I can't even front. That thing was stinging. Wait, how we get from Vegas? Oh, I said one night in Vegas, huh? Yeah, Miami, you know what I meant. But anyway, we all go back up to our rooms and decide to go out. She done found the right place called the Ball and Chain. It's in Little Havana. She goes in, hops for the shower. Boom. I go in. After she come out, I go in. I'm getting, because this is a hotel. I mean, it was a Hilton, but it was an old Hilton, so the bathroom was still kind of small. I come out the bathroom, looking good, smelling good, and my wife was freaking stunning, y'all. She had on this little glittery, greenish kind of a dress with the low-hanging thing right here, and the little girls was just like girling and all around, and I'm just like, pressure. Your girl put pressure on your boy. See, she knew what she was gonna do. I'm just got on regular like a little polo shirt, and I'm just like, yo, we ain't the same. we don't match right now. But fellas, it's all good. Cause you ain't gotta match with your girl. You just gotta be confident cause she your girl. You gotta be confident in who you are. You gotta look like something. Cause guys already know. If you see a fine girl with a guy who either average, below average, or just not on the level that she's on, guys, we know. Either that guy got a whole lot of money or he working with something, right? This is what it is. I pull them both ways. I'm working with something or I got money. That's generally how it is. So now we all have been sipping a little bit. I hadn't really been sipping that much just because, you know, hot tub and alcohol, it just don't really go well for me. So I wasn't really doing it. So of course I ended up being a designated driver. And I didn't almost kill us, but some people in the back would say I almost did. But y'all know, well, y'all don't know, but some of y'all don't know. But highways in Miami, they're a little sketchy. You will have two highways that break off, but go in the same way. And if you're trying to see your GPS, and there's people talking and having a good time in the background, it's easy to get off on the wrong highway. So I almost did that, so I had to cut over real quick and almost miss a median, you know. No, but that was the only incident. Get to the club, park, walk in. We stopped at the door because one of our partners, one of the husbands, he had it was a nice shirt, but the arms were out. And he's from New York. And he looks a little edgy sometimes, and so the bouncer was just like, "Nah, bro, I can't let you in without the sleeves." And so he helped me park when we was walking back, and so I'm outside with him. We eventually get in. After some wives had to come because he thought we was lying, trying to keep the riffraff out. You know, I get it. But we eventually get in. We're in the back having a good time. And then my wife says, hey, babe, you want to go dance? I'm thinking, not really. But one of the other ladies there was like, I want to dance. She's a dancer. I'm like, boom. Yeah, y'all go do that. She says, well, you stay right here. We'll be back before the drinks come. I'm like, bet. So I'm sitting there having a good time talking, you know, but I'm doing my thing. 2 minutes later, no, not 2, maybe 5 minutes later, I get a text. Hey, babe, can you come dance with me, please? In my mind, in that moment, that was a cry for help. That was a red flag that something is going on. And then I remembered, my wife was looking fine. My wife probably the finest woman in this whole place right now. There was a fine woman in there. But y'all ain't seen my wife in full butterfly. Y'all ain't seen her. It's something to how it looks. It's also something when you have the dress to go with it, the attire. But when you got the personality and you know how to put the details together, you could be a 6 and you can be a 10 in that moment. My wife is not a 6. She wasn't even a 10 that night. My wife was a 15 that night, y'all. And so I sit down my Sprite and I start walking really fast to the dance floor. And as I turn the corner, I see about 5 dudes. 3 posted on the bar and the 2 on this other side. They just drinking their beer. Just like this. Like they some hungry hyenas. And they ready to bounce on this little lioness. Shaking their head, just dapping, hitting each other. It's like, where her drink at? We gonna hook her up. That's how they was looking. And you know me, I'm peeping the whole scene as I'm walking in. I'm looking. I'm seeing the hyenas out here. So I walked past 2, and they parted pretty easy because they thought I was just somebody just walking through. I was in their way, so they had to move so they could keep looking, hoping for a wardrobe malfunction, something. But it was one guy that was staring the hardest. He was actually the closest too. So I made a beeline for him because I'm gonna do that kind of move. So I went over, and when I tell y'all, I shoulder checked this boy. He did that number. I said, my bad, bro. I walked over. I grabbed my wife. I pulled her to me. She laughed because she was surprised to see me. She thought she about to punch somebody in the face. I looked back at dude. He was looking at me. He was like, as if to say, well played, sir. Well played. Mufasa's home, baby. No, off limits. Off limits. She's not for you. It's my wife. And I stayed there. Y'all know, your boy's not much of a dancer. But I salsa and I think I merengue too. I'm not sure what that is, but I think they sound like they go together. Well, she taught me a few little steps. We had a good night. She got a chance to be in full butterfly mode. We got a chance to let down our hair. A little bit I got left. It's a good night. It was a good night. We got back home without incident. Got a chance to sleep in a little bit on Sunday. Sleeping in for me is if I make it to 5 hours, I sleep in, regardless of what time it is, I get up. And this weekend, man, it was a good weekend. It was a weekend that I needed. It was a weekend that helped me deal with the grief of my dad passing. I got a chance to serve. I got a chance to be around people with high-level conversations and plans and moves, and it just inspired me to dream bigger, to dream higher. And that's what I would like morning motivation to really be. The place where you really do come to have some, not just motivation, but some high level conversation. Conversation that's going to help you get from where you are to where you really want to be. And I do want to circle back around to something Toronto Regan said earlier about, leaving, checking out early on relationships. Most relationships will have red flags in them. My relationship with the guys on the team, there's a couple of red flags in there when we first got together. My wife and the fishing team together. It's 5 ladies, 5 busy mothers, black professional women coming together to do this one thing. It was a bunch of challenges and red flags in there. But it's going through them, growing together, being broken together, having the arguments, falling out, walking away. It's all a part of the growth journey. And not to single out Toronto Regan, but what I'm saying is most people in life, we let go of stuff too soon. We don't give organizations or group enough time to see what it really could be. Because every relationship that you get in is going to be different from the last. If you leave because it's similar, that means you weren't in it long enough. Now, there are some situations where it's just not going to work. But I thought that about my wife. When we first got together, babe, hope you don't mind me saying this, but I'm saying it for a reason, because I want it to be a good growth moment. My wife came to me, we were together about 3 years, and she made a comment, basically, what we doing? Now, I'm a little confused because we both agreed when we got together. Neither one of us was looking for anything serious. We were not looking for marriage or any of that. And so I was taken back a little bit when she said, what are we doing? And this is the moment that I had to make a choice to say, how honest do I want to be here? How honest do I want to be here? Do I value her? But because I'm committed to myself, committed to being the person that I say that I am, I can only give her the truth. So I said, babe, I didn't think we was looking at the marriage thing. She was like, no, but we have a great relationship. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to lose this relationship. And I was like, I don't either. I was like, but I said, babe, you're a great girlfriend. I said, but you're not a wife. But y'all, let me tell you how dope my wife is. Did she feel away? Oh, most definitely. But she didn't really give me that energy. She took it, she internalized it. She took it and she internalized it. And she did something about it. Y'all, my wife, she led me in that moment. She led me in that moment because she showed me how to take perceived criticism. She didn't take it as criticism, but it probably hurt to hear. I can only imagine. But she went and she did what was necessary to become what she needed to become, to have what she wanted. Now, I ain't gonna tell you everything that she did, everything that she went through, but she did it. Had I not given it enough time, had I not trusted her with the truth, we wouldn't have what we have today. And because she was willing to do everything that she did, I mean, to be with me, to be my wife. Y'all don't know how honored I am. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do for her. There's no conversation we can't have. There's no therapy that I won't go through. There is nothing I won't do for this woman because I saw her give it all for me. That's love right there. That's when the commitment turns into love. That's when the commitment to the service to the end result, which is the love, the unconditional love. We're in a place now I never thought I would ever be. And it wasn't primarily because I did it. She did it. She led the family in that way, and she continues. So now when we have a little dust up or something, I give her so much more grace. And I let her figure out whatever she needs to figure out and come back. Or I will pull her close and say whatever I need to say. But I know that this love that she has for me is like no other love that she's ever had. With deception, like romantic relationship. Child, pets, guys, we can't even compete with those. So one night in Miami, man, I grew this weekend. I had multiple experiences this weekend that have shaped me, that have helped me heal, and have endeared me deeper to the people that I love. So shout out to the Ebony Anglers, shout out to my wife, shout out to the husbands, shout out to you, Morning Motivation. Also Craig and Kay, shout out to they the real ones, man. I appreciate y'all for what y'all did this weekend. Shout out to Health Talk and the fam for the flowers and everybody else that, looked our way and looked out for us during our time of bereavement and dealing with stuff and traveling and teamwork truly makes the dream work. So I'm grateful to all of you for what you do, your feedback in the show, just being in the chat, man. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are amazing. And I am so grateful to have you as part of my family, part of my circle. And I can really see us together doing some really big things. Toronto Regan says, after being married over 10 years and being in a 17-year relationship, taught me what to pay attention to. There you go. My time is valuable. No time for liabilities, only assets. And if you've been in relationships like 10 years, 17 years, you're not on the front side of the time dynamic anymore. And so you have to be a little bit more perceptive of what you want, what you need, what you don't want, what you will accept. And that's also one of the things that make it harder to find the right people as we get older, because we have all this history. We have all these things that we've done and we know what we're looking for. And the older we get, it gets harder to find sometimes the thing we're looking for, depending on the area we live. Depending on where we live, of course. If you have about 20,000 people in your town, 5,000 might be, men, and only 200 might be eligible, and none of them might fit the bill. So you might have to go to a different place, but Bobby A says, shout out to Craig and Kay, coming home to a beautiful flowers. Yep. Blasking for the gift as well. Yep. Thank you all for unwavering support and love. Hey, baby just said it. She just said it. It means a lot when the people around you truly do support you. So we thank you for your service. We thank you for everybody who buy me coffee, man. Y'all just don't know. Your boy drinks 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. 2 to 3 a day. So I really appreciate it. Every time I buy coffee that somebody from this show contributed to me, it tastes a little bit sweeter. And I feel like the work that I do, it matters. I feel like the voice, the energy, the time that I give is really appreciated. Now, it's not required, but it makes me feel like the work that I do is not in vain. And that's an amazing feeling. So shout out to everybody who does that as well. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who could use a little more motivation. Until next time, have an amazing day. Keep striving for greatness and have a great day no matter what. Y'all be blessed. Your boy about to go do some more work now. I'm back home. So y'all have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Y'all be blessed, man. Peace.